Hello, this is Sheshachalam from Astroguide Mysore. So today let us discuss the points with regard to Rahu in the 8th house. So I have my wife with me today. So we both are there. She's in the back end. She's taking care of the camera and also of the questions. So whatever I leave, she will not, she'll prompt me. So we know the 8th house is the starting point of the inner passion, the urge to do something, to achieve something, and all what we want to do, do something or achieve something is to finally achieve satisfaction. So the 8th house is the first house in the horoscope to understand whether a person is satisfied or not in his life. The other houses are the 12th house, the 10th house, and the 4th houses. So these are all houses which can be analyzed to understand whether a person gets satisfaction in life. So this itself is a very big subject. We will talk about it later. I keep telling this and we'll talk about it later, and my students have been continuously questioning me that, sir, you have told many subjects that you will be talking later. So I have made a list of all that. So I will be coming. So my wife, she has a big list. She will keep telling me that you have this pending, that pending, we have to do it. So let us do it one by one. So the first thing is the innate internal craving. So here one should understand a craving is a motivation. It's a force of motivation. Like for example, I myself personally have a craving to, that is there for many years, that eat what you grow and grow what you eat. I have a craving for that. So I am on the way, the process is there, it's going on, and we will achieve it. We both will be there in our farm, and we'll grow what we eat and we'll eat what we grow. So that's a very tough thing to achieve. It's not that easy, and because we are pure vegetarians, we will be growing only vegetables. It's not like a farm where, we'll have egg laying hens, we'll have meat. No, we are totally, it's not that we are against non-vegetarians, but we are against eating non-veg. So, I think you have the demarcation very clearly achieved there. So anyway, the point here is that craving once becomes a weakness. So this is a very important point. A craving is very good. See, if a person wants to become, wants to go and do wildlife photography, it's a craving. Whatever he is, he might be a software engineer, he might be an architect, he might be a dancer, she might be a police officer, but whenever they get free time, they will take their bikes, they will take their cars, go to the wildlife sanctuary, start doing their photography. Even not in wildlife sanctuary, wherever they want to do, they will do it. So that is, you can achieve your passion, your hobbies, your cravings, even after your regular work. It doesn't mean that you have to do that work itself. But when it becomes your weakness, and that the force of the internal craving is too much, this has to be seen from the 8th house. And how to see that, I will put on a lot of charts with regard to this in the future, because we are doing only basics now. Basics, it will take another 1 year, but after that I'll go into advanced classes where I'll be putting charts and explaining how the craving has to be analyzed and how it can be quantized to understand the intensity of a desire and a craving of a person. So when it becomes weak, that is, it's not, the 8th house is not weak, 8th house is strong, but the Lagnadipati is weak in the chart. That means the native has no control over his desires and his cravings. It becomes obsession. So that's why I keep writing sentences, and this is one of my major sentence which I keep writing. I don't know whether other people also might have written this. It's not that I might be the first one who has written this, but anyway, yeah, because I'm just telling you, because it's no intellectual property, there is no IPR here. I always tell, passion motivates, obsession kills. So what does passion motivate? It motivates a person towards a particular career or a particular lifestyle or a particular goal he wants to achieve. Like, for example, I was talking to a person yesterday. She works in the United Nations and she has an obsession to somehow eradicate the atrocities women around the world are going through. Earlier, it has started as a passion. Now it has become an obsession. That means without doing something good like that, she doesn't get that, the satisfaction. She feels something incomplete. So obsession, if it is in the positive way, these people become social reformers. All this is when Rahu is in the 8th house. I am not deviating from that. When Rahu is in the 8th house, the obsession of a person, if it is positively placed, like for example, if the Lagna is Karkataka, that is Cancer, and Rahu is placed in the 8th house in its own sign in Shatabisha Nakshatra, obviously, then the center point of the 8th house is very well governed by Rahu, which actually protects the positivity of the obsession. Obsession is that they don't want anything else. They sleep, they get up, they work, they are workaholics. Until they achieve the goal, they don't rest at all. Even after achieving the goal, they may set up a bigger goal for themselves. They'll make one factory, they'll set up a goal for making 10 factories, then that's all, trying to explain you in a better way. So, if it is a positive obsession, these people become social reformers. As I gave you an example that a person wants to fight for equality of women and their rights, to uphold their rights, to uphold their justice with regard to domestic violence or other violence, which so many things happen in the office and other places. So she works for that, and it's actually a social reforming subject. It's a big subject. So the same way, there are many people who can actually do that. But imagine the obsession in the negative way. These people are sadists. They cannot see anybody else come up in life. They will somehow or the other see that they will destabilize the lives of those people who are working hard, innocently trying to achieve their goals. These people will become, hurdle to those normal achievers, struggling to achieve. And first itself, these innocents will be trying to do their best, without troubling anybody else. But the main goal of a negative Rahu in the 8th house, which turns into obsession, is to destabilize anybody from gaining the luster or the glamorous position what they would gain if they achieve something in this society. So this is the major fault of Rahu in the 8th house, which is one of the most dangerous things to happen in this world. Second thing, 8th house is longevity, Ayusthana. Rahu usually gives long ayu. It will give not madhya ayu, it will give purna ayu. So the definition of ayu is alpayu till 33, 34, madhyayu till 66, 68, and purnayu till 105 and 110. So let us take 105. So aparimata ayu, paripurna ayu is till 120, that is 2 vimshottari dasha, 60 each, and 1 vimshottari dasha of 120 years, 2 60, that is 1 samvatsaras, 60 samvatsaras, 2 times is 120. So Sashti Purti, that is what is the celebration which we do once all the samvatsaras has seen in, the person has seen, and again he goes through the same samvatsara. we have to do that Shashti Purti Shanti. We do that in India. And double Samvatsara is 120 years. That is when one Vimshottari Dasha completes and he again starts with the same Dasha and Bhukti once a person comes. This is called Paripurna Ayu. And once you go limitless, above 120, there are people who have lived more than 140 years who have not been documented as such. They are all called Aparimita Ayu, then limitless. God bless them. They'll start growing black hair once again and start looking young. So, in this particular place of Ayu, when Rahu is placed in the 8th house, it gives you Ayu, no doubt it gives you Purna Ayu, something more than 75 years. The problem is, provided the other factors are there, provided the 8th Lord is well positioned, provided Saturn is well positioned in the chart, and all other things. But if Rahu is placed in the 8th house, the person will have to go through painful bodily suffering after the Madhyayu period, that is after 68. He or she will have to endure unnecessary bodily pains because of the position of Rahu in the 8th house. It is also said in many texts, it's not one text, many texts, that the planet which is placed in the 8th house will give the Ayu, no doubt, but will also decide how much the person will suffer. So people should understand, the more you give suffering.
Also, phobias are connected.
Yeah, I'll come to that. Yes, very good point. She is there, she will not let me leave a single point. So you people should congratulate her. She is the one who actually lists down all my things. She tells that you left out this point today in the video. So anyway, good. So I just told it in a low voice so that half of them don't listen to this. So, yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, okay. Let me come to that particular point of phobia. So, 6th house phobia is with regard to achieving something in public forum. Competitiveness. If somebody is asked to stand on stage, make a speech, they'll be, first of all, the legs will start buckling, trembling, hands will start shaking, and they will not be able to do anything, on the stage. That is the 6th house, performance in public forum, socializing, all these things we have to see from the 3rd and the 6th houses. 8th house is to fight within himself or the herself. It is like there might be two major tracks. This is what I want to achieve, and this is troubling me, but I don't want to let it go. So this is called indulgence. So this indulgence sometimes becomes fear. It becomes a huge fear. So this also causes introversion and what we call as people go into a lot of apprehension. They don't understand why they are not able to do it. It is all a fight within the own personality, and the 8th house has to be clearly checked to understand a person's character and personality. Please try to understand, when your people are trying to unfold the predictions of a chart, the 6th, the 8th and the 12th houses are very important, extremely important. It will show, the 6th house shows whether the person has the ability. The 3rd house shows whether the person has the courage. The 8th house shows whether the person has inner strength, and the 12th house shows whether the person has resolve. So if these are not there in a person, what the person will be able to achieve? Mice can dig holes. It's a great capability of a mice, but it can only burrow itself inside a hole. What is the use? It cannot make itself into no public presence. If a mice tells, no, I am very strong, I'll come out and I'll show the public presence, The owl will be there in the night to catch it, the cat will be there in the morning to prowl on it, and there will be a hawk which can simply swoop it away. Because the mice does not have the strength to fight, the strength to, sit and tell, yes, I can take you direct head on. The mice will not do that because it knows it doesn't have that strength inside, and that is why it's a mice. And a human being, I can see this character in a human being also. It happens.
So I want to add one point. People, they are very confused with regard to innate desire. So what I wanted to add here, the eighth house, especially Rahu, what it reflects is the desires which a person will not openly accept in front of people.
He doesn't want to accept. That is the problem. See, if it is a positive Rahu, he will openly challenge in public and he will openly tell that I want to do this. But if it is a hard secret Rahu, let us say sitting along with Jupiter, one of the dirtiest combinations to be in the eighth house, because the person will keep too many things secret. And there are so many things which happen forcefully to that person, atrocities, which the person cannot come into public and simply unnecessarily defame himself or herself, telling that I went through this, I went through that. So I have seen many charts, excellent people having a bad combination. It's not because of their desire that they went into nonsense. It is because they were forced into it. So that is once again to be understood. When eighth house Rahu and planets like Venus and Jupiter are present, people go through a lot of problems like molestation, problems like so many things. I don't want to discuss that dirty subject, but anyway, yes, it happens.
So there are two ways, two things. One which is forced on them. Secondly, people, they do it on their own wish, by their will, but they cannot accept it publicly because that is
It
not
happens.
morally correct, or maybe they don't want to destabilize their image. People are more image conscious.
Correct.
So
Correct. Eighth house Rahu, if is weak, the person is very much image conscious. He is always worried about what people think about him or her. They are always worried. So they are not worried about what actually they are. They know what they are, but they are not worried about it. They are always worried about what
people should not come to know.
What Tom and Harry want think about them. They are worried about that. So they are always like. That's why I keep telling they put a mask. They put a mask on their face. That is, mask is nothing but a metaphor kind of an expression to tell that their face and the facial expression in public is totally different from what they are inside their rooms. They're totally different people. So this strength can be from Rahu. Even all other planets also. All the planets have this.
So this is what is basically like desire, that negative thing which they don't want publicly to be out.
Correct. They also always want to be like they are the
Some
good
people
people.
are like they will steal, what their word is, schizophrenia or something. The people who have the habit of stealing things.
Kleptomaniacs.
Yeah. So this is one small example. Like there are
the kleptomania, unforceful error, something like that. Like for example, there are many kleptomaniacs who cannot stop themselves from doing it.
They have a lot of money.
Yeah, but still
but they will not accept in front of people. That
it's like they start collecting things from others first.
Some people they will even steal money.
Yeah. I have seen that.
But they cannot accept it in public.
Yeah.
So that is what is
this I think many people can understand. If in your own marriage functions, you might have seen the richest lot. Some lady will simply walk inside, take some kaju pista. I have seen this happen. It looks very embarrassing. You can't go and stop that, because she will be some aunt or some sister-in-law or somebody. But they have this.
They will not accept.
They will not accept. They will run away from the situation. I have seen this happen.
That is what is eighth house.
That is what is eighth house. Yeah. So eighth house also means litigations. So Rahu in the eighth house, person will be very stubborn and they would not want to accept their defeat. And this is one negative thing. See, because I'll give you an example. In a nearby town, there were two sites. There was a huge layout which was done. Two sites were allotted. One person, I don't know why he did it. He did not do it on any purpose, but he just, he built his house, and the whole compound shifted 1 feet extra into the other person's area. So that person wanted to build his house, and he saw that, and he started to build his house over the compound itself, and then it went to court. They both have fought dirtily till 20 long years. They have lost lakhs and lakhs of rupees, which is 10 times more than the worth of these houses or the sites what they are owning. But the prestige, the issue of prestige, false prestige, that who will win and who will lose, has eaten them, and they both are in debts. They both have lost it. you know Even whoever wins it, they both lost it actually, because they were like mad people fighting on streets only for a foot of land, 1 feet by 40 feet length. It might be that he might have done a mistake, but if somebody else would have simply requested it, he would have left it. The fight took it to the court, and the court, who wants the fight to be closed, because both sides lawyers will be earning very well. So they wanted it to run as much as it could run. So they, pulled these people to the debts. So these people sunk and drowned in their debts only because of one stupid fight. Both were rich and both came to the road. So this happens because of adamant reaction or adamant response to litigations. There is also a dangerous thing when Rahu Saturn, Rahu and Moon, Rahu Mars, these fellows said there might be aggressive termination, there might be suspensions, defamation, humiliation. I have spoken about it, forceful humiliation. What happens, in the meeting in the corporate sector, people directly on the face humiliate. They talk nonsense which is not required for the meeting, and they humiliate the other person who is participating in the meeting. So these humiliations can be seen from the eighth house. You can also see many things from the eighth house, particularly the parental property. Huge gains. When Rahu is well placed in the eighth house, the person will have huge gains from his paternal and maternal,
And also
property.
from his spouse side also.
Yeah, from his spouse. Eighth house is the second from the seventh. So spouse family, they will also give a lot of fortune to the native. So these are all the major facts of Rahu in the eighth house. So I am not
Unlimited
clearly
things are
talking
there.
about the professions and all those things about the eighth house, because thing is, STD, say, transmitted diseases, and diseases which cannot be diagnosed so easily, like carcinoma, like cancerous problems, particularly arthritis, can be seen when Rahu is placed in the eighth house. So we did not have the power till now, and I am finishing the video and I just got the power. So thank you very much for today's class. God bless.
There are a lot more points.
Yeah, a lot of points. Rahu
We cannot
is a
cover
huge
it.
subject.
Yeah.
And
As and when-
I have seen people, skipping our videos, seeing only 5 minutes. I don't know what happens. Anyway, I think there are a lot of students who are actually seeing the whole video, because there are so many points. You need to understand each and every point in detail. It's left to the viewer actually.
So the points will keep on coming as and when we will take up charts, we'll take up different cases.
Correct.
So it is very difficult to put them in a one small nutshell and
Yeah,
deliver
put
it.
them in one video.
Yeah, so it's extremely difficult. So there will be, like, we are just talking only 10% of what it is. So rest 90% is yet to come.
I keep telling people keep asking me how much you have studied. I tell only 2% of astrology, nothing more than that. Not 2%, very mildly I am doing softly, 2%. So the other 98% is a ocean. It is left there. People can do whatever with it. So I am not a great master here, but whatever I have learned, I have kept it perfect inside me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.